Hey Captains, this is Community Video 003. I am Avigdor, always at your service, and ready to do another take. Starting up, we have Aya, who asks a couple of different questions. First, when do we get the Avigdor thread? Is it happening in the next 3 to 6 months? Probably not. Maybe on the end of 6. My legendary officer is not yet planned out. I kind of want to do something that is fun for you guys, that is fun for the community as a whole, and that helps you. So until I have that entirely planned and ready for you, I don't want to do anything just yet. But soon. Similar question with Mistblade. Mistblade, when is his legendary officer out? Again, can't give you a time frame. None of those have been developed or the mechanics figured out, so we will see in time. Legendary officer and crew. No, down the line, same thing as before. We have yet to figure out what exactly they will do, how they will affect the game, how they will affect you guys, and how much frustration we want you to have getting us. So yes, those threads are coming down the line, but not just yet. In which room will you be taking the next video? As you can see behind me, I'm in this same room as last time. We have another room being set up specifically for these videos, but until such time, we will have our Minion and our Angry Birds and our Skyrim joining us every time. So, we'll see. Next up is Sarah Fizz. Fizz, good to see you. Let's see, is there anything on the table to change the leaderboards in the future? I know you made a comment in this question about the fairness of it all, how suggestions were, in a sense, not fair to some players and more leaning towards others. Fairness will obviously be a consideration. There is not yet any plans to change leaderboards. We can always change our mind about what the leaderboards do, how we track them, what they're about. So no plans just yet, but maybe. Next up is Death Rose, and Death Rose asks, after all the upgrading work is done, is there plans in releasing old GS items? If so, what form? But if not, why not? Well, I can tell you for a fact that we will, at some point in the future, be releasing old GS items. It will take various forms, maybe limited offers, maybe different vaults, maybe other things. But old GS items, sure. We already do that every so often for events and holidays and all this other stuff, so I don't see any reason why we couldn't do that in the future. So there you go. Next up is Jeffy Ew, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Can we request for you to wear different hats in each video? You can absolutely request them, but I will likely only wear hats if they are... Hold that thought. Ha! Hats? Yeah, maybe we could do hats. I guess it would depend on the season. Merry Christmas. But yeah, I don't see why not. I'm always a fan of doing something ridiculous for you guys, so sure. Jenef asks if we will see other members of the crew, and I can tell you for a fact that you probably will. I know Da Horizon has said that he will be on here, and he actually answered that in the thread. Well, that would be Video 002's thread. He has said that he will likely be on here at some point. I know other members have expressed interest, and actually, this is actually one of our new devs. This is Dev Cram, and he has been joining me for this mission. So yeah, future crew could be on here at any time, and I actually look forward to introducing you to all of the team. So not just the council gets to meet us, but you guys do too. None Left asks, why are we not allowed to make hearts in the chat? Whenever I do the less than sign, it is missing, and all I have typed is a 3. I want to put hearts in the chat when I put the CC commander on World Chat. Well, the answer to that is pretty simple. The chat system itself is kind of fickle when it comes to symbols. I too would love to put hearts in. I know some players know how to do it, and they won't tell me. But yeah, we might work on that. The filter itself probably needs some work, but hearts aren't quite the issue just yet. If you can find those rare players that know how to do it, ask them, and then tell me. He then asks, why is the forum telling me what to do? You mean up above when it's like, aren't you supposed to go to bed? What'd you have for dinner? Why are you up so late? The forum is an extension of me. And as I care for you, the forum cares for you. So the forum is trying to take care of you. They're like, hey, make sure you get your veggies, make sure you don't play too much, carpal tunnel, blah, 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 blah. As Paige pointed out in her Diary of a Noob Woman, Mad Noob Woman post, it's like a grandmother. It wants to take care of you, to feed you, to give you kugel and all those other wonderful holiday dishes, and make sure you grow up big and strong so you can play, so you can keep playing Sons for a long, long time. So yeah, don't worry about that too much. It's essentially just a part of me making sure you're taken care of. Dia Versailles. Dia Versailles actually has a rather long question. Not so much a question, Dia. That's kind of like just a paragraph. So let's see if I can summarize this real quick. Dia touches on a topic that I brought up in the last video about raid summoning, the public sharing pool, the health of the public sharing pool, the quantity of raids that you have, and the amount of damage that you're doing. He asks if I can perhaps track it, if it's something the players can control, or if it's something that the devs need to control. Right now, it seems as though the system is currently working that when there is a rare spawn or world raid up, you guys have raids that are failing because there's something else soaking up all the damage you can do. And when it's down, you have issues where there's not enough raids to go around. It kind of seems that there's a need for raids that can soak up more damage when the rare spawns or world raids aren't around. And higher health raids that can eat up that damage is possibly a way to go about it. I will discuss the matter with Horizon and the design team, and we will make a determination on that matter. But it seems like you can do both. You just have these ups and downs depending on if there's an event or not. So we'll get to it. Like I said in the last video, it's a learning time in the community. It's a time when we're getting used to, we're adjusting. We had the server merges, we had public sharing, we had raid sharing incentives. We have all these things that are now acting on the community in ways that weren't there before. So it's a learning curve. We'll figure it out. And if we do need to change something, I'm always watching. Horizon's always watching. Mistblade's always watching. We're there. And Dev Contain is now on the list. I know a couple of you have met him. He summoned most of the 5x5 raids. He's also watching. So we're there, and we're watching you guys. So don't worry about it too much. Agantis, I guess that's how you pronounce your name. Agantis asks, will our characters one day get toes? No. No, they will not. Moving on. Nikos26. Do you call your colleagues by their real names or their quote, unquote, in-game names? For example, do they call you Avigdor or Tony? They call me Tony, because if not, I'd be going around being like, hey, Felindus, hey, Zeros, hey, Logan, hey, Logan, hey, Cram, hey, Mouse, yes, he's Mouse, and the Rider, and this, no, who does that? You can call us those names, because those are our names that we give to you. I mean, I think I'm the one exception there. You know a whole bunch of mine, and I was actually talking with Sagune about this earlier. I have like 1 billion names. I'm now Avi, and Avi with a Y, and Avig, and Viggy, and Mr. Viggy, and Hack the Planet, and Serial Killer, and I think one of you calls me Coffee. So, yeah, I have 1 billion different names. You can call me Avi or whatever you want. As long as I know you're talking to me, it's all cool. But no, I call everyone by their real name. Then Nikos goes on to say, the forum front page seems to have a toggle snow off button. Why doesn't the game have a toggle animations off button and just have a non-animated picture of the world raid troll there instead? I have played similar games that had that option. The answer to that is because we don't. We might eventually do that if it becomes a thing. Kraken, I know, becomes this lag beast due to the animation where it tends to mess up a couple of your computers. The option is a possible thing down the line, but currently it's not being considered due to time constraints, other work we're doing, and a couple of different things. But possibly. I will, if it becomes a huge issue, talk to them and impress upon them the need for the option to be there to help you guys play the game in a more enjoyable way. Saga asks, can we show the Legacy of 1,000 Suns stuff? Mugs, t-shirts, mouse pads, etc. We can. Not today, but we can. I will definitely for the next video have some stuff to show you guys. If you want, I can also link in the description of this video the link to our store, the Cafe Press store. So I'll have that for you next time, and I'll have the link for you this time around. Next up is Doug, and Doug asks, again Doug, good questions. Long questions, Doug. Why do we not get proc rate and value on items, including tactics? Is there a reason this information is withheld from us players? And Doug, I actually have to tell you that there is. On top of other things, the dev team, and I have explained this in chat a couple of times, survives on the tiers of our players. Something about the salinity content of the tiers themselves, it helps us to process nutrients better. No, seriously, proc rates and values on items, that's a possibility. More information is one of those things that I have expressed on the forums that I am interested in conveying to you guys. I want you to have the ability to know more, to do more, to be better players. So clarity of information across from us to you and in the game itself is something I will work on. So proc rates are a possibility. It's not that we're vindictively hiding them from you by any means. It's just not something that was in the game up until this point. I can't make any promises on time or anything like that, but I will definitely talk with the design team about that one. You also go on to say, can we please get this information added to equipment, tactics, etc., so we can see it, and can we also please have a way in-game to sort by these variables? Again, Doug, you're asking for a couple of different things at the same time. It would take some time. It's a possibility, so it just depends on what we want to put our effort into. There's a million different things going on at once. The team is always busy. So I will definitely bring this up with the design team. Bear with us. So in closing, this was Community Video 003. It is almost time for those wonderful Christmas raids that we have lined up for you. I have a post for that already in the forum, and I'll have a banner up for it probably tomorrow. Or today. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Future Wednesday. So I'll likely have a banner up for that on Wednesday after the patch. And from Fifth Planet Games to all our Sons players, we wish you a very merry and happy holiday and new year. I'll see you next year.